three. Good.
Step back three. That's a good shot for three.
Stepping through off the window, good. Stepping through the raindrops and the finish on the right hand.
And Edmonds going the first way with back-to-back threes. The Bombers a WNBL chance.
Good evening and welcome to the continuation of round 2 of WNBL 23. I'm Matt McQuaid and it's great to have your company tonight for what figures to be an outstanding ball game. It's the home team, the Townsville Fire, going up against the Adelaide Lightning live from the Townsville Entertainment Centre. I'm honoured to introduce to the broadcast one of the best coaches this country has ever produced. Multiple WNBL championship winner, multiple winner of the WNBL Coach of the Year award, WNBA head coach, Basketball Australia Hall of Famer, the list goes on. She wasn't a half-bad player for Nunawading either, just quietly. The one and only Carrie Graff.
Matt, great to be here with you, and what a great start to this WNBL season. Really looking forward to this one tonight. Teams coming off a really intriguing first round. Townsville blew the UC Capitals out of the water with that 38-point drubbing. And look, I thought in their first opening game, Adelaide looked pretty good against the Southside Flyers, who are laden with talent. So this one is set up to be a corker of a game.
No doubt. Now let's go to the sideline in Townsville and the person who did a great job bringing us all the action there in round 1. Welcome another WNBL champion, the pride of the St Mary's Gales, Kate Gaze.
It's really great to join you both today from the far north Queensland at the Entertainment Centre in Townsville. I was speaking to both teams before the game, and Adelaide, speaking with Nat Hurst, the coach of Adelaide Lightning, they have a tough start to the season this year. They obviously lost to the Southside Flyers in what was a pretty close game, and they travelled up here this week to play today, and then on Sunday travelled back down to Melbourne to play Melbourne Boomers. Natty wasn't too disappointed in their loss to Southside last week, and she just hopes that they just continue to get better as the games go on. Turning now to the home team, the Townsville Fire, they are full of confidence. They've had a great first game to this season, they've had a great week of training on the track, and they are on top of the world right now. They're feeling really good, so I'm really excited to see this battle between the two teams today.
Thanks, Kate. Carrie, what are the keys to victory for both teams tonight?
Look, I think defence has got to be the focus. Both teams like to push tempo, get up and down. I think how both teams negotiate ball screen action. I think we'll see a little more impact from both teams' imports. You know, they've now got a sense of the league and the competition, so it'll be exciting to see how they go. But I think it's going to be a physical contest. I think, you know, it's going to be quite tactical. We know Coach Shannon Seabomb's got a playbook, a plethora of plays in his playbook. He didn't have to use too many in round 1 against the UC Caps, but I think this is going to be an arm wrestle, and I'm looking forward to it.
And just wanted to note, pre-game, the Townsville Fire held a 1-minute silence in the playing of the first post in honour of Remembrance Day today. The Townsville Fire have a deep connection with the Australian Defence Force, and they are actually the only organisation outside of the Defence Force allowed to wear the emblem on their uniform. So great stuff from Townsville. So we might go through the starting lineups for you, starting with the visitors. The Adelaide Lightning, they're going to start with Kirsten Bell and superstar Steph Talbot in the backcourt, Lauren Mansfield, Jacinta Munro and Chelsea Brooke. And for Townsville, and as Carrie pointed out, spectacular performance last week. They had 41 points in the first period against the UC Caps. Great backcourt, Lauren Nicholson and Steph Reid. Up front, Carly Samuelson, Tiana Hawkins and Michaela Roof.
Matt, some of these matchups are mouth-watering tonight. I can't wait to see this matchup between Steph Talbot and Lauren Nicholson. Nicholson coming off a massive 35-point game in round 1. Talbot coming off an unbelievable World Cup with the Opals, making that all-star team just a month or so back. So that sets us up to be a great one tonight.
So it'll be Michaela Roof to jump centre against Jacinta Munro. Watching 9 Now's coverage of WNBL 23. And here we go. First possession to Adelaide. Straight inside. Nice pass and the finish.
Excellent execution to open up for Adelaide. Move the ball, were patient. Clearly they're looking to go inside early and maximise their size inside. They've gone with a different starting lineup to see if they can match Townsville's size and go some themselves at the other end.
Here's Hawkins backing down in the post. Throws it up way short. And here comes Adelaide the other way.
Chelsea Brook, nice D then, and certainly Coach Nat Hurst made an adjustment to their starting lineup to do just that, as we see nice little flip pass inside from Mansfield.
Yeah, nice little finish here from Jacinta Munro. And it's 4-0 the visitors, and get that out of here. Swatted away by Munro.
Steph Reid does a great job of getting to the rim. She loves to get downhill. But Munro says, not in my house.
Samuelson looking for the inbound. Nicholson fires, too strong. And there's a fight underneath the basket. A foul is going to be called on Chelsea Brook of the Lightning. Her first, team's first.
And we called it early, that matchup between Talbot and Nicholson, two greats going at each other. Talbot's length, I think, will cause Nicholson some problems, but Nicholson always finds a way to get a shot. She's active.
3 ball is off the mark from Samuelson.
Adelaide pushing tempo. Lauren Mansfield had a little bit of an injury concern, but looks like she's moving quite well.
Oh, good look underneath. Nice kick out. 3 ball is good.
Lauren Mansfield, I think, she's back home. She's an SA kid. She's been around the league. Was injured last year at Sydney and only played 7 games, but she's started this game exceptionally well for Adelaide, leading from the front.
Here's Bell all the way in, just too easy. Draws the foul, and Kirsten Bell will go to the line for 2. And Shannon Seaborn would not be happy with the D-trans so far, Carrie.
Definitely not, and I think that's certainly an Adelaide Lightning key focus this evening, is to push tempo. It's the first game of 2 on the road for them this weekend. They want to play up tempo, push the ball, and they've certainly got the edge on this one.
Bell knocks the first one down. 14 points last week in the loss to the Southside Flyers.
Yep, rookie season in the WNBA with Las Vegas Aces, and was part of a championship group. Interesting for her as her first pro year offshore, how she can develop through the course of the season for Adelaide Lightning. And
what a start for the visitors, and now a steal. Steph Talbot, and it's going the other way. Moving screen.
Often for the imports, it takes them, 3 or 4 weeks to get used to the WNBL, how the referees call it differently to, say, the WNBA or in Europe. I think we'll see that for most of the imports in the WNBL this season.
Here's Reid, who was outstanding last week, 14 assists. Samuelson, nice little hezzy dribble, and count the basket, and she'll go to the line for the 3-point play, and finally, Townsville will get something to go, Carrie.
It was nice finish. It was, got to the rim hard on her left hand, Michaela Roof. She's been around the WNBL for quite a few seasons, the last few with the UC Capitals. Here she is in Townsville, putting it on the floor hard to her preferred left hand, and she's a pretty good free throw shooter. You'd expect her to finish.
Yeah, apologies. I may have said Samuelson. The hair got me, I think. And Michaela Roof, and she had a terrific game as well last week. And their outstanding win. 3-point play. And now...
Extended pressure by Townsville.
Yep. Talbot. Pulls up. Off the mark. And Steph Reid rebounds. Roof on the dribble drive. Has it knocked away. Another turnover. It's been an issue for them early.
Nice adjustment on the scout then by Chelsea Brook. Didn't allow Roof to go to a preferred left hand, forced her right. The coach will be happy with that scouting report defensively.
And a scrap on the floor. And it's going to be possession arrow favouring the visitors.
Interestingly, Coach Shannon Seabohm didn't call the momentum timeout. His team were down zip 9, allowed him to play through that a little bit. And
check that, and it'll be possession area favouring the home team.
These two guards will harass each other all night. Reed and Mansfield both can extend defensively. Both like to put the ball on the floor and get to the rim.
Hawkins looking for Nicholson on the cut, and she draws the foul.
Savvy
Steph
player,
Talbot.
Nicholson. She knows how to use screens. She got a defender into that screen. Having said that, she's playing one of the better. I'm going to say one of the best defenders in the WNBL. Steph Talbot can do it at both ends of the floor, but certainly you can see she's locked in to make sure that she can do a job on Nicholson tonight.
Here's Reed, and as you mentioned, Mansfield is all over her. Also run the two-man game with Roof. It's in there for the O board to Steph. Roof. And just taken away. And taken away the other way. Now firing, and again, just can't get it to go at the moment.
A little different to round one. Townsville couldn't miss one. They're struggling to finish at the minute, but I'm sure that'll turn around for them. They're loaded with a number of players that can shoot the ball exceptionally well.
Thank you.
Substitution coming in for the Adelaide Lightning. Well, Badish into the ball game. Great start for the Lightning, not so much for the Fire. 1 of 4 from the field, and they've already committed 4 turnovers.
Yeah, Shannon Seabohm won't be happy with that sort of turnover count, but we saw that last play then. Bell made great help defence, dig down on the post and came up with a steal and allowed her team to come down and push tempo, and we see Adelaide looking to set up their base out of bounds line play here with Steph Talbot, the inbounder. You'd imagine that they're going to bring her in under the rim and run her off some screen action. Referee's talking about it. Veteran referee Kylie Vovoden there, I'm sure, leading the charge.
I'm not sure what the delay is here. Possibly something to do with the clock. Officials still discussing it. Nat Hurst there on the sideline for the Lightning, rookie head coach.
That she is, but a veteran of the WNBL, 290 games, 7-time championship winner. I was fortunate enough in my coaching career to coach Natty on many of those and coached her as a young 17-year-old back in the day, but she's certainly going to be a pedigree coach, and exciting to see her as a head coach in the WNBL.
So whatever the issue is, they've decided to call a timeout. So this early timeout is brought to you by CTM Sport. CTM Sport takes care of all the travelling off court, so your favourite team can focus on their game. Visit ctmsport.com.au to learn more. But let's go to Kate Gaze on the sideline there in Townsville.
Gone and asked some of the people on the score bench. They've actually got an issue with the in-game clock and scoreboard in the stadium. The foul count's gone on the wrong player on the board. They've got it right on the sheets and all of that, just not displaying what the correct foul count is on the board.
There you go, early season gremlins. Always happens.
It does. The coaches will be happy that they got to utilise that as a timeout, though. I'm sure they'll keep that one in the bag. Shannon Seabohm in particular will be appreciative that he won't have to blow one of his own timeouts on that. A chance to regroup their athletes, talk about what it is that they're not quite happy with. Look, I think Townsville have been executing solidly. It's just they haven't hit the shots, but I think Adelaide's pressure has been superb, and their ability to push tempo has really set them up to get this early lead.
Adelaide shooting the ball 60% from the field and spreading the scoring load around Lauren Mansfield leading them with 3. 4 players already hitting the score sheet. So, again, it's been the turnovers and probably the poor defensive transition that's really hurting the home team right now.
Yeah, and look, both of these teams, certainly in round 1 had 5 players in double digits, and I think Adelaide in particular will be a team that will score by committee. Talbot clearly is a star. Their imports, I'm sure, will step up to be solid scorers too. But Townsville, obviously, with the huge scoring of Nicholson last week, but then they had 4 other players in double digits. So we see Talbot sit her man on the rim and get an easy turnaround jumper.
Just a great spin move from a member of the All-Star 5 at the FIBA World Cup in Sydney. She is a superstar. Nicholson, who had 35 last week. 3 ball is good.
That she can do. Samuelson's got a beautiful perimeter shot. She's a 3-point specialist, and didn't they need that? Keep them in touch here early. We see Bell back cutting.
She's second time she's done that. Nice pass from Badish, and Bell go to the line for 2.
Foul count's going to be an issue for both teams. We're seeing that teams, get hard to the rim with back cuts or penetrations, and getting some foul calls from the referees early.
Kirsten Bell makes the first. She, as you mentioned, rookie season, great college career. Averaged nearly 23 points a game her senior year at Florida Gulf Coast. Makes them both there. Great start for the Lightning.
Steph Reid just controlling tempo here for Townsville, making sure they execute.
Reid on the penetration. Nice look in a corner. Jay is good in the short corner.
That she does exceptionally well. Gets downhill, draws help, finds open players. 14 assists she had in a double-double in round 1 last week. See if she can do some of the same tonight here against the Adelaide Lightning.
Mansfield, little hezzy dribble and just leaves it short. Hawkins rips down the glass. Reid. Hawkins on the trail. Pull up is good.
Transition basketball. Both teams looking to push tempo. Shannon Seabomber will certainly be happy with that tempo push from Steph Reid.
And the Fire work themselves back into this ball game. Talbot fires, gets it to Marina Whittle, is off the mark rather. And here's Reid the other way. Hawkins. Leaves it well short on the turnaround, Jay. And here come the Lightning the other way. Well, straight through the head, and then Hawkins rejects it. Mansfield thought she had the lane, but Hawkins said,
Point guards are getting in the lane. We're seeing it at both ends, but the bigs are sitting there waiting for them, enjoying getting a swat on both of the point guards at this point.
So it'll be Steph Talbot to inbound.
So we see Abby Cabillo check in for the Adelaide Lightning, replacing Lauren Mansfield. First season with Adelaide Lightning after 3 or 4 seasons at the UC Capitals. Hails from the Northern Territory originally.
Talbot, little step through and gets it to go.
Gosh, she's classy. Talbot can score on the rim. She can shoot the pull-up J. She's got the 3 ball. She's a phenomenal defender, robust rebounder.
Already was 6 in the ball game. Almost another steal, and now a foul. Maybe Cabillo getting a hand caught in the cookie jar there. There's a little quizzical look at the referee.
Adelaide's pressure defence is causing Townsville some problems, I think. It's really pushing them out of their sets. They're doing a great job to create some havoc early in their quarter-court offensive sets.
So Adelaide in the penalty, and Tiana Hawkins will go to the line for 2.
An 8-year veteran of the WNBA, played most of her WNBA career with the Washington Mystics. She's got the 3-point range. She's a beautiful pick and pop player, and we see her stroke that first free throw. She's a wonderful addition to this Townsville Fire team.
Makes them both. And substitution coming in. Hawkins will take a seat.
We'll see extended pressure here from the Townsville Fire off free throws. See if they can trap.
Well, it's pretty tough to trap that ball player who has the ball at the moment. Steph Talbot. Cabillo. Talbot. Nice hands there from Carly Samuelson. Knocks it out of bounds. And then he'll stay with Adelaide.
Some good D by Samuelson then. Physical down low on the screening actions.
Almost stripped it was. Great play by Steph Reed. And an easy deuce coming up for Courtney Woods.
We got a ball game here. 15 to Adelaide, 12, 14 now to the Townsville Fire. I think it's going to be seesawing like this for the majority of the game. Talbot looks inside.
They've definitely upped their defensive intensity, Townsville, Carrie. And that, as you mentioned, that timeout, the free timeout that Shannon got was obviously extremely helpful. And Steph Reed's kind of the head of that defensive snake right now.
Absolutely, and I think that your conversion of their free throws has allowed them to extend their full court pressure. As we see, Woods not quite from three-point range.
Again, Reed, though, facilitating beautifully. She had a wide open look, just couldn't knock it down. Cabillo looking for the screen. Now Badish fires away, that's off the mark, and rebound Woods.
Good execution, ran some ball screen there with a little pick and pop as Nicholson pulls up on the break.
We've seen her do that before.
Is her signature. Beautiful pull-up jump shot, strokes it to give Townsville Fire the lead with 2:39 to play.
Sorry, Carrie. She's always been a great defender, but that's a part of her game she's really developed over the last few years.
Yeah, absolutely. She finds a way to score as Talbot tries to answer, not quite, but the great putback there.
Excellent rebound and putback from Marina Whittle.
You know, Whittle as an undersized post in this league does an exceptional job. You know, she's a tough matchup sometimes. You know, she's undersized in the post. She can pull it on the perimeter. She can post up a smaller, but she certainly finds a way to score inside as an undersized post in this league.
Nicholson, nice look. Good pass from Michaela Roof. Samuelson, corner triple, got it.
Ball movement, excellent ball movement by the Townsville Fire. Roof could have taken the open one. She swings it to the specialist shooter in Woods. That's good team basketball. Coach Seaborn will be exceptionally happy with that.
Meanwhile, Steph Reed called for the hands foul. Hawkins comes into the game and Michaela Roof will take a seat. But that ball movement you talked about, Carrie, that was a real highlight of what they did against the UC Capitals last week.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's, you know, when teams have, you know, had a chance to play together, they know their systems. You know, Coach Seabomb's coached this Townsville Fire for 4 or 5 seasons now. He's got them in a groove, and they certainly play well together in terms of their ball movement.
Cabillo leaves Jaeger on a backside and hits the J inside.
Friendly roll. This is what Cabillo can do. She can certainly extend up the floor. She's a good pressure defender. Make it hard for Jaeger. Both coaches going to their benches early, putting everyone in, anticipating this one might go all the way physically.
Nicholson with a little runner baseline, and Lauren Nicholson is heating up. And now, straight into the passing lane. Woods, as easy as you like. She blows the layup. Boy, Adelaide dodged a bullet there. Whittle gets her own rebound and draws the foul. And she'll go to the line for 2.
Momentum shifting Townsville's way a little bit here, but Adelaide find a way to, you know, halt that a little bit by getting some shots on the rim and a chance to go to the free throw line here to tie it back up with 1:03 to play.
So Marina Whittle, 68% from the charity stripe last season. Has 2 here.
We'd expect to see Adelaide extend their defence too here. Just over a minute to play in this first quarter. We've certainly got a ball game, 1 point in it. Make
Now
that
we're
tied.
Yes. And Marina Whittle will take a seat.
Lots of rotations here. Ball in Nicholson's hands. That matchup we talked about early, Talbot and Nicholson, started as a hot one and will continue to negotiate in the mid-ball screen. They've switched on it.
Nicholson almost turns it over. It's knocked out of bounds. 8 on the shot clock. 45.8 on the game clock here. Jaeger to inbound.
You'd anticipate something's going to come to Nicholson here.
Jaeger with 4. She's got to get it up with 3. Good defense. Forces a tough shot and gets it to go.
Good D, good finish. 2 possession game here in the first quarter. Adelaide will work it for a good look. Maximise clock usage.
Izzy Borlase, who was incredible last week. Great pass inside, and Talbot finishes it off. What a dime from Borlase.
15 on the clock. Nicholson will keep it in the hands. Play the ball screen here. Adelaide with a switch on that ball screen.
And now that's going to go the other way. Offensive foul. I think Hawkins just a little over-aggressive on that pick and roll action.
The switching defence on the ball screen has been effective for the Adelaide Lightning. It'll be interesting to see if there's any adjustments on that from the Townsville Fire in the second quarter. All tied up, 4.7 seconds to go in this first quarter at Townsville v Adelaide. .7 on the clock. The court wipers doing their job up there. Full court heat from Townsville. Inbound. 3 ball is short at the buzzer. And we are tied after 1. It is Townsville 23, Adelaide 23. Carrie Gruff. Look, we call it from the top. This is going to be a hell of a contest. Two teams, you know, both with good depth. Townsville, you'd think earlier, are probably a top 4 team this year on paper, and certainly the way they've started the season. But this is a ball game. I mean, for round 2 of the WNBL, this is nip and tuck so far. I think the matchups we talked about early, the Talbot-Nicholson ones, heating up, it's a good one. I think we've seen some interesting switching defence from Adelaide on Townsville's ball screen action. Both teams extending their defence when they can. I think this one's going to go nip and tuck for the entirety of the game. Townsville off to a slow start, but they end that quarter shooting the ball at 52% from the field. And they're led by Samuelson. She's got 8. Tiana Hawkins 4. Lauren Nicholson 4. Steph Talbot, as you'd expect, leads the Lightning with 8. They're shooting the ball at 44% from the field. And they're 6 of 6 from the free throw line. Rebound count favouring the Lightning 10-7, and the turnover count. Townsville started with 4 turnovers in the opening couple of minutes. Carrie, they've got 5 now, so they've really started to settle down, settle into their work. Yeah, absolutely, they did not. And I think, you know, they had a blowout game last week, so to go from that to a game where there's a little more pressure, I think they adjusted, as you say, to that, as we see Coach Seabohm addressing his troops. But I think, as we mentioned earlier too, both teams have got the capacity to have 4 or 5 players in double digits, and I think we'll see that tonight. You know, Talbot started exceptionally well. You know, I like the cutting action that we're seeing from Adelaide Lightning, and I like the pressure. The defensive pressure from both teams has been superb.
I think the judges have made their decision. We're going with these girls right here. Go fire! 3-point.
Let's go to Kate Gaze on the sideline in Townsville.
Yeah, guys, Shannon really focused that time out on being disciplined defensively. He said it wasn't good enough. They were getting to the basket way too easily. Offensively, he made some suggestions how to attack their on-ball defense. So the Adelaide Lightning are icing the screen, sending the guard away from where the screen is coming from, and he just suggested to them, pop back and reverse the ball and play a 2-on-1 game if you can. So he wasn't happy with them defensively, so look for them to change it up. Another side note is we don't have Zatino Okuso on the bench at the moment. I'm not really sure what's happened to her, but she's not sitting here, so I'll hopefully come back to you guys with some better information.
Yeah, that would be a big blow. She gives them some terrific depth
Yeah, absolutely.
Okuso.
She's a legit big inside. She's extremely efficient down low, scores well, good rebounder. To take her out of the mix for them for their post rotation is certainly a big hit, and we're seeing that with some of the teams. Injuries early to teams are going to impact on some team season. But
you think health's going to be a real key, across the board this year?
Yeah, look, I mean, I think we've, that's, if you talk, potential top 4 teams, it's which ones of those can stay healthy. The teams that have depth, it's easy to cover if you've got some injuries. But I think, maintaining, and sometimes injuries are just luck, but I think that's going to have an impact for some of those, for all teams in the competition this season, is how well they can manage injury and perform without key players injured.
Again, just some issues with the clock. They've sorted it out, so here we go. We're underway in the second period. Matt McQuaid and Hall of Famer Carrie Graff with you in coverage on 9 now. Game is tied at 23. Great spin move and a score.
Wow. Ball A's.
There she goes again, 25 in her second ever WNBL game last week. She's just continuing where she left off.
I'm going to call her a rookie. That one game last season doesn't count. This is her rookie season. What a move. Throws it down, shimmy shake, she finishes as we see the ball go inside, and the finish to Hawkins for the Townsville Fire.
Yeah, super pass from Jaeger on that one, and Hawkins with the easy finish. Mansfield handoff. Steph Talbot. Mansfield again on the dribble drive, and a little too easy for Coach Shannon Seaborn's liking. Carry.
Beautiful. Mansfield's usage of the ball screen is exceptional. She gives a little look away that she might flip the pass over, finishes on her preferred left hand. That was classy.
Hawkins trying to hand off to Samuelson. Great D from ball ace. Samuelson. Again, ball ace. Tough D, but Samuelson sticks with it and gets it to fall.
Rookie. She's like, all right, rookie, let's see if you can defend.
Carly Samuelson, 4 of 6 from the field, 10 points. Bell, 3, and that's way off. Out of bounds to the home team.
The Townsville crowd, I'm sure, will be shaking their cowbells as they do up there in Townsville on that air ball from Kirsten Bell, who's as a renowned three-point shooter. Unlikely for her to go air ball left.
Michaela Roof.
Townsville just settling here, executing the half court as we see Nicholson off that mid-ball pick.
Great seal inside, and that's an easy score for Tiana Hawkins.
Really well executed quarter-court set, rolling the smaller Talbot down, sits her on the rim.
And now a steal. Jaeger got a hand in there, as did Hawkins. Roof, we know she can shoot the 3, and Samuelson's been hot. Again, deep catch by the post player. Can't get that to fall. Michaela Roof.
Townsville really looking to isolate Talbot down low and on any of those mismatches. Clearly a tactic of theirs to either get good looks against the smaller Talbot, as we see the ball not quite drop.
From Chelsea Brook. And it's Roof the other way. Samuelson, elbow hit, yes.
Beautiful stroke.
12 for Samuelson. She's burning it. 5 of 7 from the field.
Big possession here for the Adelaide Lightning. Again, the momentum's just swung Townsville's way. Great cut by Talbot on the inside.
And a great finish in traffic. Stephanie Talbot. She is a talent, to say the very least. And we saw it in the FIBA World Cup. Not to mention the Olympic Games. Roof just pulls the trigger and leaves it short. Rebound, Bell. Townsville back on D that time. It's a little over aggressive in the post from Lauren Nicholson. Yep, it was Lauren Nicholson.
Yeah, she had that topside seal, felt quite exposed with guarding Talbot down the low post there. Got called on that sneaky little. I'm sure she had either a grab of her singlet or wrapped around her on the top side. But fortunate for Adelaide to get that foul call and have the ball base out of bounds here.
Steph Reid checks back into the ball game. Adelaide possession. Bell three. Yes. And you talked about it, Carrie, and we just saw it. Great hit from Kirsten Bell.
Yeah, and three-point shooters don't miss twice generally. Certainly don't miss the same way twice. And to airball that one, to be able to step back up and stroke that three.
Yeah, sloppy turnover in the backcourt there.
We've definitely got an arm wrestle here. Adelaide back in the lead, 32-31, 6:28 to play in this second quarter.
Is that kind of your expectation coming in that with these two, that it was going to be back and forth for most of the ball game?
Yeah, that was the sense I had. I mean, the blowout was, interesting. How does that set Townsville up for this Game 2 contest? But I think these teams match up exceptionally well against each other. I think, as we said, they can score by committee. Both teams have, depth of talent that you've got 4, 5, 6 players that could step up and score double digits. And I think we're going to see that tonight. And I think this is going to be an arm wrestle the entire match.
Ball ace. Mansfield. Bell at the buzzer. And was it?
Referees have said no.
You look at Natalie is not impressed. That was close. And they're saying it's a 24-second shot clock violation. So take away the triple from Bell. Townsville possession.
Reed and Mansfield matched up again. That's a great contest. The 2-point guards, similar in style.
Hawkins again going hard to the rack and getting it to fall.
Wow. Good execution by Townsville, going down low to one of their star athletes, get it down low in the post. She finds a way to score.
And looking to go the other way, and off the mark is Monroe.
So I think we'll see a little bit more of that from Adelaide. Can they get the ball down low, use Monroe's length? As Ruth takes her on a non-preferred right hand.
Nice pass. Great pass and a great finish to Hawkins. And Tiana Hawkins now with 12 in the ball game.
And clearly a focus for the Townsville Fire to put the ball on the deck, get downhill against their bigs if they can.
Three is off the mark. And rebound for Courtney Woods. Here's Reed. Three off the window, as they say. Carly Samuelson, she simply cannot miss. Give her 15 on the night. She's 6 of 8 from the field. Banks in a triple. Timeout to the Adelaide Lightning, and suddenly they trail by 6. And this timeout is brought to you by Cygnett. Proudly Australian, Cygnett is powering the WNBL with its extensive range of charging products, including power banks for your phone. Thanks to Cygnett, your favourite players will stay charged this season on and off the court. Power your life with Cygnett. Visit cygnett.com. And right now, it's Townsville, to use the obvious pun, are on fire, clearly, but they've been outstanding. And again, the highlight, the ball movement and the execution. It's something you talked about in the pre-game, Carrie.
Yeah, look, I think they've executed, and they go to what's working for them. They seek out mismatches, they seek out the hot hand. And look, I mean, that was a tough shot. Off a dribble, she takes it off a handoff, shoots it somewhat off balance and banks the three. I mean, that's classy, but I think they've gone to what works for them. Where are the mismatches? They've gone inside to Hawkins against a smaller opponent. They get some dribble handoff action and see if they can loosen up a shooter. Can they get downhill with their point guard Reed and find open players? So I think that Townsville have slotted into a groove of really saying, well, let's push tempo. If not, what can we execute and who can we attack in a mismatch scenario? Look, I think Adelaide is still playing well. I think they haven't, the shots haven't dropped for them at the other end, but I think that, this possession right here is critical for Adelaide. Can they just, maintain that gap? They're only 6 down, long way to go in this ball game, but I think important for them confidence-wise, can they execute and get a score here?
Let's go courtside to Kate Gaze.
Nat Hurst was really positive with the group in that timeout. She wants Marina Whittle to get around Hawkins. It's a tough matchup when she's sealing so strong under the basket. It's so physical out here, but Natty was very positive with her group. They responded well, stay the course, and then talked about an offensive play, which I'm not sure if that's what they drew up, but she was a very positive coach in that timeout.
Yeah, I'm not sure that she wants Munro taking a one-bounce pull-up jumper 10 seconds into the shot clock.
And finally, Samuelson misses one from outside. And the crowd groan. Here's Munro in the post, has it stripped. Great hands by Roof and pulls it away. And Bell will pick that off, intended for Hawkins.
Good defence by Bell then to just steady the ship with that steal back.
And Rowe looking for the handoff to Borlase, and now 3 is short from Mansfield. And suddenly Adelaide have gone ice cold.
Offense a little stagnant for Adelaide Lightning. They're not, some ball movement there, but the player movement was a little light on. Having said that, they get a wide open 3, but doesn't give you much chance to rebound the ball offensively if you're shooting it that quick in the quarter court.
Foul to the Lightning, and some substitutions coming in for the visiting team. Miller Badish back on the floor.
Both coaches showing they've got depth, they're prepared, they've got confidence in their bench to show different groups. And certainly for Adelaide, that's going to be big for them for this weekend with a double away trip tonight here in Townsville, and on Sunday back it up in Melbourne against the Melbourne Boomers.
Once again, the court wipers earning their keep. Typically humid up in Townsville, of course. And these two teams are leaving it all on the floor so far. Crowd trying to fire up the home team. Reed. Roof to set the pick. Reed explores and scores. Beautiful move. Little hezzy dribble. Used the screen beautifully, did Steph Reed. And they have scored the last 9 here to lead by 8.
Impressive.
Bell. Talbot. And what did she do, Carrie?
Yep.
She stepped out of bounds in the corner.
Those size 12 shoes, a little too far. Steph Reed, wow, that was an impressive play off those 2 ball screens. Hesitated, waited to read the defence. That was impressive. See if they go to the same play.
Oh, nice little backdoor cut. Woods forced up to a tough shot, and it's off the mark. Tries to save it and does. Great hustle.
Tough
there
deep
from
by
Courtney
Talbot.
Woods.
Yeah, Courtney Woods. I thought she had great composure there. She's up against one of the best defenders in the competition. Talbot played great there, and she kept her poise, got a decent shot off, and Townsville are rewarded with the ball out of bounds.
Oh, Hawkins just finds a way inside, score at the foul. Tiana Hawkins doing some serious damage. She's got 14. She's 6 of 8 from the field. Put her on the line for the N1.
Adelaide need to find an answer for her. She's just carving them up. I mean, she's on track for 30. She's, there's a reason why she's a veteran of the WNBA.
As you mentioned, Carrie, just that size, they're just taking advantage of the smaller Lightning front court. Down in the trenches, 3-point play for Hawkins. And now she has 15. And Townsville out to a double-figure advantage on a 12-0 run now.
Massive 3 minutes in this second quarter for the Adelaide Lightning. They want to go inside to Talbot against a smaller opponent. Kicks it out to Cabillo for 3.
That's much needed. Big hit from Abby Cabillo. And finally, Adelaide gets something to go. Late in the second. Reed exploring and draws the foul. And she's a real energizer bunny, isn't she? I mean, she's in constant motion.
She is. She's
Steph Reed.
She's a tough matchup. She's got great change of pace. She can get downhill and then maintain her composure inside and find finishes or find the open player. She's really starting to step it up for this Townsville Fire team as we see her take a seat.
Let's go to Kate Gaves for an update.
Yeah, Zatina has come back from the change room and she's actually on crutches and in a boot, so it does not look good for her right now. Hopefully nothing too serious because she is a great part of this Townsville Fire team.
That'll certainly be a dent in their roster and their depth as we see Talbot muscle her way inside. She is tough.
My goodness. Talk about in the forest, and she made it work. Steph Talbot.
And that's what the great players on their teams do, is when their team need a bucket, they find a way. They find a way to score. They find a way to get a stop, as we see Woods go in, can't find a shot. Talbot back with the ball, pushing tempo. She keeps her team in touch, gets them back to within 6.
Bell. Nice little up fake there, and the jumper is off the mark. Rebound.
Bell starting to show
Roof.
some nice signs.
Here's Jaeger. They just leave her alone. Great pass at the last second to guess who? Tiana Hawkins. Give us 17 points in the first half. And a timeout has been called.
Coach Hurst, I'm sure, will have something to say about what do we do with Hawkins. I mean, that was a fast break play. It was a 2-on-1. Not much you could do in that instance, but they need to find a way to limit her scoring. She's doing the damage for them, but I think Townsville are executing exceptionally well. They just, they're playing at the right speed. Their movement in the court-to-court is exceptional. Their use of and understanding of their court-to-court sets is on point.
On the flip side, Adelaide's kind of over-reliance at the moment on Steph Talbot, it seems, to make something happen, and the other guys, the other players in their team have got to step up.
Yeah, I think they've been a little bit stagnant offensively. It's one or two pass and then find a shot. It'd be good to see them get a little deeper through their quarter-court sets, a little more player movement. They've scored well when they've made great cuts. We saw Talbot score on back cuts and post up. When they're a little stagnant, one or two actions and no movement, I think they're struggling in the quarter-court.
Townsville shooting the ball at 57% from the field and 24 points in the paint. And it's something we talked about, just this post dominance right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you're getting, contested shots or somewhat contested shots close to the rim, generally you're going to shoot a high percentage. You'd assume, particularly with a player like Hawkins, who is such an efficient finisher. Townsville aren't settling for perimeter shots. They're getting the ball inside and penetration. They're getting ball inside to deep catch, and it's much easier to get yourself a high scoring percentage if you're shooting inside shots.
Badish to inbound. Kabia.
Big possession for Adelaide. Can we see him move the ball?
Good hands there from Courtney Woods. Knocks it out of bounds. Still Adelaide possession. 15 on the shot clock. Bell to inbound. Just throws it straight to Michaela Roof. Another turnover. That's been costing the Lightning of late in this period as well. Hawkins, he's been dominant. Jaeger. And travelling violation. Turns the ball over.
Port for Adelaide here, can they stay in touch this last 1 minute 14 to see them into the half? Can they go into half time with a little bit of momentum, feeling good about themselves that they can get a decent score in the quarter-court? Again, stagnant, ball hasn't changed sides. We see Talbot into some ball screen action.
Cross-court pass and a three-point shot is off the mark. And rebound Hawkins. And Townsville looking to further extend this lead. Impressive second period from the home team. Especially this ball player. Hawkins leaves that one short. Gets her own rebound and draws the foul. And Tiana Hawkins is a one-woman wrecking crew right now inside for the Townsville Fire.
That she is. Yeah, she can put it on the floor. She finds a way to finish. Her cutting action, aggressive on the boards. As we've said quite a few times on the call tonight, there's a reason why she's an 8-year veteran of the WNBA.
How impressive is it that the WNBL manages to attract all these WNBA players down here? I mean, it just adds to this great league, which I've always said is world class and never gets given enough credit, in my opinion. It kind of drives me a bit nuts, actually, to be honest with you, as Hawkins makes them both. Yeah,
absolutely. I think the professional players, both our Australian players that play in the WNBL and offshore, and WNBA US players that come to Australia, they know it's a competitive league. They know it's a great lifestyle. It's a great off-season for them where they don't get burnt as much with a long season that is Europe. So it continues to add to the quality that is the WNBL.
Now three is off the mark. Rebound Woods.
Last possession here for Townsville. We'll see Roof exposing her point guard skills here, calling the play, saying let's play this last shot, 12 seconds to go in this second quarter. Townsville with a 10-point lead.
Jaeger using the roof screen. Short corner Jay, and it's off the mark, and that'll do it. So it's half time here at the Townsville Entertainment Centre. Great second period from the home team. They restrict the Lightning to just 14 points, and they've expanded their lead to 10. They lead 47-37, Carrie Gruff.
Yeah, look, it's been an interesting tussle. I think that's, certainly for the bulk of that quarter, Townsville had the momentum. I think they moved the ball. They moved the ball much better. They went to the well until the well went dry. We talked about it time and time again. Tiana Hawkins just continued to dominate that quarter. Adelaide, on the other hand, went a little stagnant offensively. They didn't get stops to allow them to get out and run. And I think they'll regroup here at halftime. Coach Hurst, I'm sure, will talk to them about their movement, what offensive sets they're after.
Let's go to Kate Gaze on the sideline.
I've got Carly Samuelson here with me. Carly, it's so great to have you in the league this year. How are you enjoying your time? You obviously started this game really well. How are you enjoying the game today and the Townsville Fire?
Yeah, I've been loving it so far since I've been here. We started a little slow. I'm glad we got our shots going. We just got to play better defense down here, but we're feeling good.
Yeah, a little bit different to how the game started last week. You guys came out firing as a team, but you've seemed to get the team going personally yourself. What do you think the message will be from Coach Seabom today?
Just start the second half better than we did today. Obviously, we started hot the first game of the season, but I'm glad we dug ourselves out of that hole and just stop fouling and play hard at the same time.
Yeah. Thank you so much, and good luck with the rest of the game, Carly.
Okay, Gaze there with Carly Samuelson. What a half of basketball she played. 15 points. So, once again, your score, it's Townsville 47, Adelaide 37. We're going to take a break here on 9 Now, but stay with us. You're watching the Cygnett WNBL.
It's the biggest WNBL season yet, and superstar Lauren Jackson returns. Don't miss a block, basket, or game winner.
That's not steal the win.
WNBL, live on 9 Now.
I have a family that I have to get back to.
The wait
Gavin.
is over.
And I know that's something that you understand. Welcome home. We're being hunted.
No! More sinkholes are coming.
How deep does the mystery go?
You are never going to believe what happened.
La Brea Season 2. Stream the latest episodes on 9 Now.
I've always loved the idea of saving a house from demolition.
Shayna brings her own family on a labor of love.
We're building a house!
Grand plans.
Whoa. It's going to be a bell tower.
Epic disasters.
The wind has just ripped everything off.
And Shayna's personal style revealed in every episode.
This is the dream.
New Country Home Rescue
It's special.
starts Wednesday, 7:30 on 9.
Do not underestimate the power of a good blind. Take this exhausted couch. Now it stands before you. Magnifique. Even this cocktail of dead skin is gracefully waltzing. Da 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 da. DIY blinds. Change the ugly.
Introducing She Hoops, an Australian-first online platform for women in basketball. From live mentoring sessions to panel sessions, exclusive interviews with the biggest names in the sport, education and upskilling courses,
Certainly when I reflect on being a younger coach, the majority of the times I would be one of the only women, even in coach programs. You know, even now there's times where you might be, you know, one of two women in a rooms that you're in.
I was the only woman in the room. What gave me the confidence was I was an athlete. And because you've been able to draw, I have been able to draw on myself, but I was able to excel and compete at a really high level. And so what did that tell me? That told me that wherever I could go or wherever I was, I could compete.
There's one voice on my shoulder saying I'm a badass and I belong here, and then there's another shoulder that's saying, you know, you've got a whole host of women behind you, and this is important to get right. And so to do it with grace, but to do it with dignity, and, you know, just to go into it with the headspace, I belong to be here and I have something to say, and I'm going to listen to them and they're going to listen to me.
Even though I'd sort of built confidence through my coaching career, I would listen and take things in before I felt comfortable enough or confident enough, and that is shifting, but it's still going to take time. There's still a plethora of rooms that you're in that aren't very diverse.
How do we change that narrative where women and men are as smart as each other? They just sound different.
You feel a little different, right? I'm a big believer in self-talk. I can do this. I belong here, and you realize that every person you know has some kind of insecurity, right? Questions of themselves that make them wonder whether they belong. And so you're just kind of like, I'm good. Really important, especially for women. Women, well, I can't do this. No, you can do it, and you will.
It's very intimidating if you're in a room full of males. I think if you walk around with confidence and you feel like you can fit in, you know, in that moment, I think that's great.
Towards the start, when I first started coaching at a higher level, it was super difficult to find that balance of how do we act in front of females, what do we talk about? But I think it's putting yourself out there, showing the stuff that you can do, being confident in yourself, voicing your opinion is something that definitely helps when you are the only female in the room, for sure.
I have experience being the only woman in the room. You know what, I still don't even think I have the confidence to stand up and have my voice be heard. At the moment, that's something that I haven't really learned to do, because that's a part of, you know, my learning and my development that I really need to work on, and confidence is a huge part of that.
Nights of Brixmas, Channel 9 gave to me a fresh batch of new celebrities. So come with me, Australia, on a Lego journey. 2 nights of magic for every family. You won't want to miss this Brixmas, there's so much to see. So tune in and watch it on your TV. Or phone or iPad, any screen's fine. Merry Brixmas!
Lego Masters Brixmas starts Sunday, November 20 on 9 and 9 Now. TV's tastiest challenge is back.
Welcome to Snack Masters.
Tim Tams, Cheezels, Snakes Alive, Magnum, and more.
Yeah, to replicate the snack.
The greatest chefs in the country attempt to crack our tastiest Aussie snacks.
What do you reckon? Doable?
You take pride?
The Snack Masters trophy is all mine.
New Snack Masters, soon on 9.
Welcome back to round 2 of the Cygnett WNBL here at the Townsville Entertainment Centre. It is the home team, the Townsville Fire, up 47-37 over the Adelaide Lightning. And let's run through some first half stats for you. The Fire shooting the ball very efficiently, 54% from the field, 19 of 35, 3 of 6 from deep, a perfect 6 of 6 from the free throw line. It's the imports that have really led the way offensively for them. Tiana Hawkins, outstanding first half from her, 19 points on 7 of 11 from the field, 4 rebounds and a couple of assists. Carly Samuelson hit the 3 ball. She's got 15 points on 6 of 9 shooting, 3 of 5 from deep. Lauren Nicholson, who had 35 in
inside and out. Their interior passing was exceptional. You know, at the other end, I think Adelaide in that second quarter did the reverse. They didn't execute as well offensively. They didn't have offensive glass attack. I thought their defensive pressure dipped a little bit. Having said all that, they're only 10 down. I think they're still, you know, they showed in round 1 against Southside, they managed to, you know, the lead would get out to 8 or 10 and they managed to claw it back a bit. So big third quarter coming up for the Adelaide Lightning. They need to claw this back. Townsville are renowned in Townsville to ride out a margin. So big one here for the Adelaide Lightning to come out, make some adjustments and see what they can do.
Let's go to the sideline and Kate Gaze.
Yeah, we've seen a great first half from the Townsville Fire. They started slow, like we've mentioned. They're shooting the ball at 54%. And the scary thing is, Loz Nicholson only has 4 points for the game. So if she gets going, it's going to be a tough game from the Adelaide Lightning.
Kate, what do you see the Lightning have to do to get control back of this game? I mean, that first period was very competitive, but Townsville just took them apart in the second.
Yeah, I mean, Tiana Hawkins is a problem out there. She's so strong. Being sideline, courtside, seeing the bodies banging up against each other, like, they are tough out there. So she's a problem for them. And Townsville Fire have scoring power all across the court. I think Lightning will have to play some of their best basketball to get on top of this game, but they definitely have players capable of doing that. So hopefully they can get it done and, you know, get closer to the Townsville Fire and hopefully make this a bit more of a ball game.
Just about to get underway for the second half. Again, you're watching round 2 action of the Cygnett WNBL. On 9 now. Great to have your company wherever you may be watching. Matt McQuaid, Carrie Graff and Kate Gaze with you tonight. Bell to get us underway. Lauren Mansfield just had the 5 points to half time. They want to try and get her going. Munro on the spin and the score. So there you go, Carrie. Great way for the Adelaide to start. Get an easy post target and the deuce.
Absolutely, and Munro's length over the smaller roof. Munro did a great job to get her down low, right down on the point of the rim, and found an easy way to score that hook.
Roof, great look inside and the finish to Steph Reed. It's contagious, this ball movement.
It is a nice counter-attack. You know, Adelaide are trying to get out of the lanes and deny. Excellent back cut and a nice feed there. Well-executed offence again by the Townsville Fire.
Talbot had a look. Again, they're making a focus of Munro. Goes one way or the other. Too strong on the jump hook, but unfortunately Michaela Roof loses it out of bounds and Adelaide retains possession.
Lefty v lefty. I like that little contest down low. Munro with the extra length. You know, that's a contest that looks like Coach Natalie Hurst has said earlier, let's get the ball inside. Let's see if we can get some easy scores. it'll be interesting to see if the Townsville Fire go at Munro at the other end. She's got 3 fouls early. Way to counter-attack someone attacking you is get her in, get that 4th foul and see if you can get her off the floor.
Mansfield fires too strong. Harassed by Reed on that one. Yes, Steph Reed the other way. Again picked up by Mansfield. Nice blow by, but there's Munro with the steal. She was looking for Hawkins and Munro was there. Here's Mansfield the other way. User Munro's screen goes up and misses, and that's going to stay with Adelaide.
We see a mirror image almost offense of both teams on the break. They're looking at the mid pick and roll, see if they can get something with their creative guards coming off that ball screen and a rim roller. Unfortunate then for the Adelaide Lightning, they couldn't convert.
Munro. Here's Bell with 8 on the shot clock. Step back 3, got it, all net. Kirsten Bell, give her 10 on the night. And that's her 2nd triple from 3 attempts.
That was tough. She's got a sweet stroke. She's got the defensive task on Nicholson as we see her just grab and hold a little bit. Nicholson's so savvy at setting a defender up to negotiate screens. She gets them down below the point of the screen and then she can read and play off it. Savvy play to sucker the foul from the import, Kirsten Bell, who just stroked that exceptional 3-pointer.
Is that something Shannon will want to get Lauren a bit more involved, do you think, in the second half?
Look, I think Coach Seabohm and certainly this team, it's not all about one play. The quality and the depth of this group is their thing. They've got a bunch of players that we've seen this.
There you go. Just as you say, there she is again. Carly Samuelson with a big hit once again. A dominant performance from her.
Tonight it's the Hawkins and Samuelson's show, and Nicholson can play a supporting role. As we see the elbow stroke from the lefty, that's a nice touch. She started this quarter well for Adelaide, and Coach Hurst has certainly made a focus of going to her as they claw this margin back to 8.
Yeah, it's this end. They've got a problem. Look at that. Easy blow by and a layup for Steph Reed. And she's causing absolute havoc out there. Just give her 6 points, 3 of 3 from the field to go along with 3 rebounds and 3 assists. So she's orchestrating everything beautifully right now. Talbot. Bell thinking about it and draws the foul from Samuelson.
Bell showing off her handles there. Nice little shimmies and crossovers, suckers the foul. And as we've talked about, the strength of one of the strengths of this Townsville Fire team is that they've got a plethora of scorers. Tonight we're seeing Samuelson and Hawkins really step up in terms of scoring. Nicholson, as we've talked about, had 35 in game 1. I think they've got 3 or 4 players that have the capability to score 20 plus in any contest.
Cool Wipers should get double duty for this.
That they should.
Yep, the boys getting a nice cheer from the good crowd there at the Townsville Entertainment Centre. And here's Munro. Nice look. Mansfield.
Talbot sealing well inside against the smallest Steph Reed.
But a good deflection there from Michaela Roof. Here's Steph Reed the other way. Hawkins was thinking about the 3 and throws it out of bounds. Bit of miscommunication with Laura Nicholson there. Kind of zigged when she should have zagged.
And I thought
another turnover.
Hawkins' eyes lit up when she saw the smaller opponent. I think she wanted to get rid of the ball and get down low
Give
again.
And go. Yeah, that's right.
Classic for athletes to just stay in the moment and stay on the play, not think too far ahead 1 or 2 plays off, and you'll see an error occur in that circumstance.
Courtney Woods in the game for the Fire. Talbot.
Better movement here was seen by a bit more punch in Adelaide's quarter-court offense, better sharp cutting actions, moving off picks.
Whittle fires short with it, and Munro tracks down the O-board. Looks inside, nice hands from Hawkins, but gets it back.
Munro's been active, she's been impressive, got on the glass then maximising her length, just having a little bit of trouble finding executing her passes to the interior, but certainly had an impact for the Adelaide Lightning in this 3rd quarter.
So Marina Whittle at the line for 2. 2-2 at the line tonight, and of course she misses it. They call it the McQuaid commentary curse. Whenever I say someone's perfect from the line or is an excellent free throw shooter, can you guarantee, Carrie, that she'll miss?
Absolutely.
1 or 2 there. And Lauren Nicholson takes a seat. Morgan Yeager replaces her.
Just as Adelaide start to chip into this 10-point margin, Townsville find a way to get it back out to 9 or 10.
So at this end of the floor, they're having issues. Steph Reed is leading the way with that.
The usage of this mid ball screen or seam screen is exceptional. We see her hesitate, finds the open man, not quite.
Yep, that time they closed it down. Use Bell the other way.
Bell's been impressive with her ability to get hand on ball.
Catch and shoot is off the mark there. And rebound Hawkins, and here comes Reed the other way.
Again, we see them set this seam ball screen. Reed probing, kicks it out to Hawkins for 3.
Off the mark. Rebound to Adelaide. Talbot. Munro. Mansfield. 3 is good, and that's a big one. A much needed triple.
Much better ball movement. We saw much more action then from the Adelaide Lightning. Move the ball, some pick action, swing the ball out to the open shooter. That's what they need more of. Chip it back now to 6 with 5 minutes 15 to go in this third quarter.
Ooh, now Hawkins takes a heavy fall on the push. From Whittle, who's called for the foul. But you feel like, yeah, that 3 just had to go because, as you mentioned, Carrie, that was very much kind of not running in mud, but just that they couldn't get over that hump. I think now 2-possession game, they can reset their D here, get another stop, and momentum can shift in a hurry.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's the beauty of this game. You know, momentum can swing quickly within the space of a couple of minutes, and they just need to hang around here. You know, that second quarter, I thought they were subpar. I think they're showing much better signs. They've come back out of halftime, had a chat about what they need to do, and I think we're seeing that, particularly in their quarter-quarter offense. Much more precise, much more intensity in terms of the attack of their cuts and their screening action.
Reed. Again, the hesitation, goes up and scores off the one-legged shot. She's got 8. She's a perfect 4 for 4 from the field.
Yeah, that seam ball screen is really hurting the Adelaide Lightning around. Now they need to look at some adjustments, how they're going to defend that. Do they look to trap, to do something else?
Badish is too strong on the 3. And the Fire looking to make this double figures once again. Hawkins, nice little crossover, pull up, and gets it to fall. Tiana Hawkins is on a heater right now, 21 in the ball game, 8 of 13 from the field.
Just as Adelaide chip it back, what do the great players do? They step up and make plays. We see Steph Reed get in the lanes and get on the break.
Got numbers all over the place. Woods 3 ball off the mark. Bell grabs the rebound. And Steph Talbot didn't even get over the mid-white line. And then another steal. This time Courtney Woods, easy layup. And
timeout,
Nat Hurst. Yep, there she goes. Calls for time. And Townsville, 6 straight, have blown this out to 12. 60-48 with 4:03 left in the third. This timeout is brought to you by DIY Blinds, Australian-made window furnishings that are designer quality at the best prices. Order your free samples today at DIYblinds.com.au. And we were just waxing lyrical, it seemed like a minute ago, about how Adelaide had really picked up the intensity and particularly at the defensive end of the floor, but they've been cut apart in the last minute. What's happened to change things?
Yeah, look, I think Townsville just stick with what they do, and that when they find an advantage, they stay with it. We've seen, I think it's that seam and mid-ball screen action that Townsville have been running. Steph Reed just plays off that exceptionally well, finds her way into lane, finds a finish, or finds the roller or the popper. I think Adelaide have got to talk about how they're going to navigate that. And I think they've just got to stay strong. I think offensively they've been a whole lot better. It's just now they've got to hold the defensive end. I think, they get one end going and the other end slips a little. But that's we can't take anything away from Townsville. I mean, Townsville are just executing superbly. They've got a mix of scorers. Just when you're about to say, oh, Hawkins has gone a touch quiet, she steps up and makes a huge play. Look, they're just playing exceptional basketball right now.
Let's go to Kate Gaze on the sideline.
Yeah, Coach Nat Hurst really wants 1 minute of fast pace. She wants them to push the ball. I think she wants to target a few of the Townsville Fire's players defensively. She wants to go at them, post them up, but she really wants pace in this 1 minute here. So hopefully we'll see some of that. She also said to let the ball do the work. So move the ball around, get it from side to side, and then look to score.
It's an air ball layup there from Borlase. And here come the Fire once again, looking to extend this margin.
And here we see it again, mid and seam picks. Reed going to work.
Rejected by Bell, who's stuck right with her. And now Steph has been called for the foul. So we'll stay with...
That'll be Reed's third personal.
Yep. So a little bit of an issue in foul trouble for the Townsville point guard.
Be interesting to see if Coach Seabom sits Reed for a little bit, take her out of that 3 foul count. He may leave her out there. Trust that she's she knows how to control her body and the foul count. As we see him again, go to the well till the well runs dries.
Roof wide open, off the mark, and out of bounds to Adelaide. Comes back into the ball game. Badish will take a seat.
And we see Cabillo back in at the point guard spot as well.
Yeah, Bell taking a seat. 3:11 on the clock. Talbot tries to spin, loses her feet, and goes down hard, and that looked particularly nasty. I hope she's okay, Steph. It was one of those awkward ones that you just hate to see, and you heard the thud, and she went down hard. Some concern there, but she's on her feet, which is a positive. Such a star of this league and of Australian basketball, Stephanie Talbot. Do you think the Townsville's depth, and it's something we've talked about, is kind of starting to wear out the Lightning a little bit, Karen?
Perhaps. Look, and I mean, they're also at home.
Yeah, sure.
Adelaide have travelled. Adelaide were on the road last week. The starts of the season are different. So, look, I think both coaches subbed quite profusely in that first half. And having said that, some players are playing 20-25 minutes already, but I think the depth can certainly do that to you where you're down, as we see the young rookie that stepped up last week and said, hello WNBL, here I am, is starting to have an impact, putting the ball on the floor. I'm sure, as we heard Gazy mention out of that timeout, that Coach Nat Hurst said she wants to see more attack, she wants them to be a bit more up-tempo for a few minutes, and we're seeing that from them. Let's see if she can convert.
Steph Reed is replaced by Morgan Yeager. 2:52 on the clock. He's the youngster, the 18-year-old, who misses the first.
Some good pedigree, both parents played, elite level sport. Her mum, netball for Australia, her dad, an AFL player.
Darryl Borlase, yep. And she's one of the two of the liners. Izzy. 3 points in the ball game for her. Samuelson trying to find someone to pass off to. Now pulls up in the paint. It's her own no-board though. Hawkins thinking about it. Mid-range J. That's off the mark. Rebound Izzy Borlase. Oh, nice knock away. Deflection there. Brilliantly done from Courtney Woods. What a play.
Yeah, Adelaide were on the break then, pushing tempo as directed by Coach Hurst, but great stop there to come up with that defensive effort play by Courtney Woods.
Yeager.
Again, we see the seam screen. Excellently defended by Abby Cavillo. Squeezed her hips over.
And throws it on. Izzy Borlase almost had that. Throwing it up at the buzzer. It's an air ball.
Very good defense by the Adelaide Lightning in that stanza.
Oh boy, straight to the rack. Throw it up. That'll fall. Yep. Izzy Borlase getting her second bucket of the ball game. And we'll go to the line for the three-point play opportunity.
Big conversion for her here. Can they get it back to that 10-point margin that it was at halftime? They just haven't managed to chip into that lead, you know, down by 10 at half. See if they can nudge this and close out this third quarter and get the score down to 6 or 4 to hang around in this tightly fought contest.
Three-point play. Easy bolas. And it's back to 8. So they are hanging in there. It looked like they were going to get blown out of the building at one stage in this third. And now Hawkins almost loses it over and back. Sloppy possession. Shot clock is down. We've got to get moving. Lega Walker off the mark. Trying to chase down her own board, but Adelaide now with Cabillo have a chance.
Talbot looking to post up the smaller opponent.
Cabillo almost loses it, does lose it.
Courtney Woods again.
But yeah, getting down on the floor. Great hustle from Courtney on a couple of possessions. Here's Nicholson.
Again, working this ball screen action. Good D. What have the referees called it?
I think they've called a blocking foul. Slightly got hit, and that's one of those 50-50 calls, Carrie. I mean, how did you see that?
Yeah, look, I mean, from where we're sitting, it looked like it might have been a charge, but like you say, it's that line ball 50-50 call. Clearly the referee deemed that she wasn't quite there in the initial contact. I thought that was a pretty good, you know, it's better ball screen defence from the guards than we've seen earlier for Adelaide.
Jaeger to inbound. Hawkins. 12 on the shot clock. Lauren Nicholson using the screen. Good defense again from the Lightning. Lega Walker goes up and just falls off the rim. There's Hawkins working hard on the O glass. Great defense from Munro. Hawkins throws it up and scores. That's what you call persistence, Carrie Graf.
Wow, wow, wow. Look, Coach Hurst won't be happy with Adelaide's inability to block out. You know, particularly in this quarter, they've missed 3 or 4 really obvious and overt block-out scenarios, and that allowed Hawkins to come up with that big play as we see Whittle not be able to stroke it from the perimeter.
Hawkins grabs his 7th rebound to go along with 21 points.
Townsville will grind this out and play the last shot of this third quarter with a lead of 10 points. Again, going to the same play, some seam ball screen.
Nicholson on the dribble drive and too strong, but she's drawn the foul. Late whistle there. Yeah, I can't believe it. The end result is going to be 2 free throws, I believe, for Lauren Nicholson. They do call the foul on Abby Cabillo, her second. And here's Nicholson.
Wow, that's a big call.
Amazingly enough, Lauren's first trip to the free throw line tonight. Just the 4 points coming off a 35-point explosion against the UC Caps last week in this building.
And I think that's one of the challenges for teams playing this Townsville Fire team. Pick your poison. You know, you put your best defender on Nicholson, who had 35 last week, and then you got Hawkins to deal with, or Samuelson. Steph Reed has the ability to come up big, so you know that's one of the challenges with a team that has depth of scoring and many scoring options from different positions.
2-2 of the line for Lauren Nicholson. 3.4 on the clock. Munro. Abby Cabillo, she's going to have to launch it. Cabillo throws it up at the buzzer and is off the mark. And that is the end of the third period. Adelaide down by 12 at 64-52. Carrie Graf.
Yeah, look, Adelaide are hanging around, but having said that, you know, I mean, they only lost that quarter by 2. It was that second quarter that got them that 10-point deficit. I thought they showed some good signs there. They, you know, Coach Hurst implored them to get some tempo push, to execute with more movement. We saw them go inside early to Munro, and that was effective for them. But on the other side of the ledger, Townsville had just got scoring options all over the shop. You know, Hawkins continued to be a problem for them, and just their ability to score and find great shots off that mid-ball screen and seam ball screen action that Adelaide don't yet have an answer for. You know, do we see Coach Hurst perhaps change the defence up a bit? Do they go a bit of zone? We saw them try a bit of switching then on that ball screen action when they had Talbot engaged. So it'll be interesting to see what they can do to try and chip away at this lead. But right now you'd say Townsville have certainly got the momentum, and you'd anticipate that they may push this one out. Having said that, Adelaide showed against Southside in round 1 that they could hang around.
Just take a look at the third quarter highlights. And again, saw Kirsten Bell hitting that triple, and it kind of took her off at the 3-minute mark. I was a little bit surprised by that, because it seemed like she was one of the few Lightning players outside of Steph Talbot who was looking at least a little bit effective, Carrie.
Yeah, she did. I thought she started to show her handles, as we see here. Adelaide with their, executing the ball, moving it much better, as we hear this shot. You talked about it just then, Bell, on that little step back 3 that was a tough shot.
But again, even with that, you can kind of look at the ball movement, and that's just a tough contested 3. I mean, there's good defense played on it. You just got to tip your hat. But really, this has been the difference. Just that ball movement.
That's the play we're talking about. Seam pick, work off it. The handler works off it, suck some defense in, find the open man, throw it inside to the roller, throw it outside to the popper. Townsville have just got counter after counter on that seam ball screen action, and I'm sure Coach Seabummer will go to that. He's a master, and as are his team, of going to offensive sets that are creating mismatches or creating open shots until their opposition can find the counter attack.
Let's go to Kate Gaze on the sideline.
Yeah, Shannon really talked in that timeout about being disciplined defensively. He said all of his scoring is coming from their defensive stops, so he's really happy about that. He said offensively he wants them to execute, run their stuff to a T like they did in that play just there, but he wants them to execute, and he said if they want to win this game, that's what it comes down to, executing and playing great D. He also wants them to watch their fouling. Don't foul unnecessarily and be smart on the defensive end.
Tiana Hawkins now with 25 after that beautiful mid-range jumper. Mansfield, 3 off the mark. Rebound, who else? Hawkins. She's headed for a double-double. That's her 9th rebound tonight.
Off the back of a double-double in round 1, and she's just stepped it up to another level tonight. Here she goes on the throwdown to the rim. Scoop left.
My goodness.
Can play.
This is just complete domination from Tiana. And here's Munro. Talbot. Foul line. Jay, yes. Let's go to Kate Gaze for a quick update.
Yeah, I'm down here on the Townsville bench, and Carly Samuelson is getting her what looks to be a calf rubbed out. She looks in quite a bit of pain. They're working pretty hard, so not really sure what's going on there, but she's lacing her boots back up, and hopefully we see her out there in this 4th quarter.
If this keeps up, I think Shannon
2 on
will
the
want
shot
to risk
clock.
it. 2 on the shot clock. Desperation heave is off the mark from Laura Nicholson. And Adelaide trail by 14. Their equal largest deficit of this game. Mansfield. Good defense by Woods again. She's been strong defensively. Talbot fades, hits. And Steph Talbot finally gets something to go. 14 points on 7 of 10 from the field.
Back to 12 for Adelaide, back-to-back baskets for Talbot. She's going to look to try and put this team on her back to chip away at this margin that is 12 with, just under 8 minutes to play.
Nicholson, Woods. Offensively, real problem in this set. Step through and a high arcing shot from Steph Reed, and it somehow goes. My goodness. Stephanie Reed, 5 of 6 from the field. She's got 10. What a shot. Munro fires mid-range, got it. So right back at you. And Adelaide, they're kind of teetering on the precipice right now, Carrie.
They are. Still a long way to go, but you just get the sense that Townsville really have a stranglehold on this margin. They're playing at a great tempo. They're finding a way to get great shots like that one. Roof inside with the finish and the fend. Goes to the line for an and one against Munro, and that'll be her 4th.
Did Steph Reid just flex? Or was I was I seeing things? That was a power move by Michaela Roof inside off the feet from Steph. She's got 4 assists now to go along with her 10 points.
With guns like Steph Reid's, I think she can flex anytime she likes. In exceptional physical condition is Steph Reid.
Yeah, I think it was more in empathy for the power move by Michaela on that left-hand shot in traffic.
You know, and that's what Steph Reid can do to you. She can get into lane and find a finish, as we saw on the play earlier. You then overhelp on her and she finds the inside dump. That's the class of a point guard, being able to play downhill, draw help, play off a ball screen.
Now it's the biggest lead of the ball game. Here's Izzy Borlase throwing it up. She's looking for Munro. No dice. Here's Reid looking dangerous. She's got trailers if she wants them. She's going to run some clock. Again, Roof on the inside. This time she'll pull it out. Hawkins, low shot clock, 3. Hawkins straight to the rack, forget about it.
Wow.
29 points for Tiana Hawkins. What a spectacular performance, Carrie Graff.
She's been superb. Inside, outside, off the dribble, on the glass, defensive end.
And now that's going to be offensive. Izzy Borlase, a push off there. Great play from Laura Nicholson. She was there. And as we kind of mentioned, Carrie, things are starting to really get away from the Lightning right now.
They are. You get the floodgates are halfway open, you sense, and it'll be a decision here for Coach Hurst. How long do you try and play this? 6 minutes to go, down 17. You got to back up and fly to Melbourne and play Melbourne Boomers on Sunday in Melbourne. At what point do you give up on this one? Clear the bench. Rest your starters, don't overcook Talbot. It's a decision a coach has got to make on these doubles. Where do you go with it? And I think she might give it another minute or two and then look to say, look, we're gonna throw this one. We're gonna play the bench a little, make sure we don't get any injuries to our key players, and she might give it 2 minutes here to see if they can chip it back at all.
Nicholson. Hawkins has been sensational. So is this lady, Steph Reid. Another little hezzy dribble, reverse layup. Oh my goodness. Steph Reid put on a show, young lady. 12 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. And a spectacular move, dribble drive for the reverse finish. Wow.
And she was one last one. She and Hawkins both had a double-double in round 1. They're heading, Hawkins has already got his second double-double and Steph Reid may well be on the...
Laura Nicholson can't believe it. She was defending Izzy Borlase absolutely perfectly, but at the last moment, the old hand getting caught in the cookie jar. She's called for the foul.
That could be Nicholson's 4th, I believe.
So timeout on the floor. And this timeout is brought to you by Aussie Hoops. The Aussie Hoops program at its biggest year to date, with over 42,000 participants registering to a local Aussie Hoops centre nearby. Aussie Hoops is the perfect introduction to the world of basketball for kids aged 5 to 10 years. Whether your little one is a seasoned basketball fan or simply looking to get out there and give it a go, we have no doubt they'll have an absolute ball of a time. Register now at aussiehoops.basketbol to kickstart your basketball journey. And Carrie, obviously this game is pretty much gone as far as the Lightning are concerned. They just haven't shown offensively that they've got the firepower tonight to keep up with this very, very potent Townsville unit. What do they get out of this last 5 minutes and 45 seconds?
Look, I think they've got an opportunity to, play their younger bench, rest some people, but still stick to their principles. What is it that they want to take into the Melbourne game? What adjustments can they make down the stretch here to say, well, can we adjust to our ball screen defence? That's certainly been the difference in this third quarter. Steph Reid's ability to play off that seam and mid-ball pick has just carved up the Adelaide Lightning. They need to find an answer for that. They need to still work on some little things, and, this one might be done, but they've got to start to say, well, what are some things we need to work on to get ready for Melbourne on Sunday?
Okay, goes on the sideline.
Timeout from Natty Hurst there. She just, I think, really wanted to steady the ship. She just emphasised that they need to get ball reversal, get it to the second side and score off that. She says that they look good when they get the ball to the second side.
Here's Reid showing some tricks. Good defence there, but Manages to find Roof. And 3-second violation has been called against the Fire. Here's Mansfield. He's been pretty quiet tonight, Lauren. Just the 5 points. A tough night for her.
And she got those in the first 3 minutes of play. She's got a little hesitant on that 3-point shot.
Will hand off. Ball A's Mansfield. Now she launches and hits and put her at the line. Your timing is impeccable, Carrie Graff. Put her on the line for the 4-point play.
Look, and that gives you a little bit of momentum. You know, that's a momentum swinger. You launch that 3, get fouled. It's a 4-point play. Suddenly, you know, the margin's back to 13 with 5 minutes to play. You go, well, we're still in this thing. You know, you hit a couple of threes, get a couple of stops. It's the ball game.
Mansfield converts the rare 4-point play. And Adelaide reduces the margin to 13. So, look, there's plenty of time. I know I gave them up for dead. Typical of me, always going early. But this is where they've got to get it done. And they haven't been able to get consistent stops all night. Reed. Roof. Step through shot. Too strong. Hawkins fights, grabs the board, sticks it back. Tiana Hawkins. She's in a world of her own tonight. 31 points, 10 rebounds for Tiana Hawkins. What a performance.
She's been phenomenal, and just as you get some momentum, she just slaps it back and says, no you don't.
Mansfield no looks at to-ball ace. Mansfield fires, hits 2 in a row. Has she got? Are you talking to her somehow, Carrie Graff?
I think
she heard you.
She's playing looser now. They've gone, look, we're down. We got to have a couple of minutes. If we're open, hit the 3. Let's get some. You know, they're a little sharper offensively, but she's a good three-point shooter. A little flat, but hey, if they're going down back iron or going down swish.
Carly Samuelson just went down hard there in that collision. It's good to see her out there.
Let's go, Townsville.
Kate Gaze talked about the issue with her calf.
Yeah, certainly. You know, they don't need her going down.
Is that a bit of a risk? You know, this early in the season. Obviously, look, they're up by 12. It's still gettable for Adelaide, and stranger things have happened, obviously.
Yeah, it's always that fine line as a coach. At what point do you know, just the minute you go too early and make subs, a team makes a run. So maybe it was just cramp. Obviously, all the teams have quality medical people as part of their support staffs, and wouldn't put the athletes in any sort of, you know, risk of potential injury if there's a legitimate problem.
Now an offensive foul off the inbound pass. So suddenly Adelaide have a chance to cut this to 10 or even get it into single digits. Ball ace. Talbot fires away, too strong. Good offensive rebound though to Badish. Now Mansfield!
3 in a row.
3 triples from downtown, and all of a sudden Lauren Mansfield has exploded. It's a 9-point game. I have no idea what I'm talking about, clearly, because I gave this thing up for dead. They were down by 18 a moment ago. 3:36 to go. It's a 3-possession game. Carrie Graff.
It's the beauty of the game, right? The momentum can literally swing one way. It's a pendulum, and this pendulum has just swung hard one way and then back the other way. And you know, credit to Adelaide that they've hung around. Mansfield have been quiet for a bulk of the game. She started on fire. We've just seen her stroke 3 threes in a row. They've backed off for a bit. She said, "I'm taking that." So, look, credit to Adelaide. They're hanging around. Townsville now have got to go back and regroup a little bit. I'm going to call it, you know, let's see Tiana Hawkins come out and make the next play. They're going to isolate her down low or let her rip from the elbow. She'll get an offensive board. You know, she's been the impact player that when Townsville have needed some action, she's stepped up to the plate, as has Steph Reed. I mean, Steph Reed, you know, particularly in the second half, has really controlled the game and played exceptionally well off that ball screen.
Lauren Mansfield, she had 5 points a moment ago. She now has 15 of her 10-point explosion in about 90 seconds to get this thing back within single digits. And you talked about it, Carrie. Now, the way this team fought against what many people are calling a juggernaut squad in the Southside Flyers last week, and we can see why in this one.
Yeah, they'll hang around. Look, Natalie Hurst was like that, a player. She never quit. She'd stay in games, and she's certainly showing that as a coach she can implore her team to do just that.
Hawkins looks inside, and now it's going the other way. Good hands. I think that was Badish knocking it off. Carly Samuelson out of bounds. So I'll check that. Michaela Roof it was. So she goes on the other end, and all of a sudden, Adelaide.
Yeah, and the issue, one of the issues for Townsville, you know, Nicholson's got 4 fouls, Steph Reed's got 4 fouls. You know, they can put the foot down and look to attack either of those athletes when they're on the floor, and forcing Coach Seaborn to have, you know, Reed on the bench at the moment. Nicholson's still on the floor.
And here's the always dangerous Talbot with 10 on the shot clock. Mansfield, why not 4 in a row? Lauren Mansfield from way downtown has made this a 6-point ball game. She's got 18-13 in this period now. Michaela Roof takes it hard to the rack and draws the foul, but my goodness, what a shooting exhibition in the 4th period from Lauren Mansfield.
4 from 4 in the 4th. Wow, and certainly as an opposing coach, Coach Seaborn would be pulling his hair out with that. Make her do something different. I mean, she's, you know, after the first 2, make her put the ball on the floor.
A couple of big free throws from Michaela, and she can't make the first one go. And Townsville, it seemed like just a moment ago, were cruising up 18 and looking for all the world. 19, it was 18, looking for all the world like they were going to pull away from Adelaide, but this is a ball game now. 7-point lead for the Fire. Can they hold on with 2:43 left?
Now we see Steph Reed deny Mansfield the ball, saying enough of that, you're not going to get a touch.
Talbot looking to attack, has it knocked away, but here's Whittle firing, and it's off the mark.
They needed that one, but they're still in touch. 7 down, 80-73, just a tick under 2.5 minutes to play.
Nicholson. Roof. Reed with 4 fouls. Hawkins, who's been sensational. 4 on the shot clock. Hawkins tries to go to work, throws it up, and can't get it to go. Rebound, Roof has it knocked away. Great D by the Lightning. Here comes ball ace. She's got Talbot. She pulls up, she hits. Easy ball ace has made this thing a 5-point ball game with loads of time left.
Let's see what Townsville come up with here.
Reed.
Seam ball screen. Again with the handles, Reed out to Hawkins with a mismatch down inside. Roof on the smaller Mansfield.
Can't get it to her, good D. Now she tries a lob pass and Mansfield steals it. Great hands, doing it both ends, Lauren Mansfield. I think she thought about that. Now foul line, Jay is off the mark.
Whittle just can't
from
find
Whittle.
that mid-range
second time, yeah, she's had her opportunities. And roll down to 1:15 remaining. And what was a comfortable win for Townsville, but they lose it. Tiana Hawkins fumbles it away, and Adelaide made this a ball game thanks to Lauren Mansfield. They leave ball ace open, thinks about it. Ball ace to the rack, draws the foul, and she'll go to the line for 2 to make this a 1-possession game with just under a minute left, Carrie Graff.
What a ball game this is. You know, it started as an arm wrestle. The second quarter we see it push out to a 10-point margin. We think it's going to be a blowout with a 17, 18-point lead by Townsville in this 4th quarter, and here come the Adelaide Nightling. They've got it back to, as you say, a 2-possession game. The kid, the rookie that stood out in game 1, no fear then. In the clutch, under a minute to play, gets to the rim, and here she is at the free throw line. And I'm going to say 2 of the hugest free throws of her 3-game WNBL career today.
And just absolute nervelessly knocks that thing down. As you say, ice in her veins. This is a big one to make this a 1-possession game. Ball ace, free throw. Got it.
Stroke.
2-2 at the line.
Kid can play.
Easy ball ace. She's got 10. And here's Steph Reed. Nicholson. Trying to find Hawkins. Hand off Reed. Uses the screen. Great defensive recovery. Nicholson. Goes into the paint. That's offensive all the way. And another turnover. Great defence. And
the hot-handed Mansfield.
Well, she's doing it at both ends.
ends.
That is the second straight great defensive possession from Lauren Mansfield, Carrie.
Her fourth quarter has been exceptional. She started the game exceptionally well, went a little quiet in that middle part of the game, but she's certainly turned this game. She's been the one that's turned the game with that hot hand early, and then massive defensive play down the stretch. 40 seconds to go, takes a charge on Steph Reid, who's been managing this fourth quarter so well for the Townsville Fire.
13 points in this period from Lauren Mansfield. When all seemed lost, she has stepped up, and it took Carrie Graff telling her to shoot the thing, and she did, and she hasn't stopped. And the result has been a spectacular comeback from the Adelaide Lightning. What heart they've shown in this ball game.
That they have, and we'll see extended pressure by Steph Reid. She's got 4 fouls. It'll be interesting to see how Mansfield attacks her here, what Adelaide look to run.
Mansfield, Whittle, Talbot. Samuelson picks her up, uses a screen. Talbot looking to attack. Double, great D, gets it back. 7 on the shot clock. Get it inside, reverse lap and a foul. And that's going to send Whittle to the line for 2. Hawkins on the foul with 18 seconds left, and I'm not so sure she needed to foul her in that situation. She was kind of off balance there.
Yeah, off balance with length. Same. I think she'd missed a couple of mid-range shots in the last few minutes.
Yeah.
I think you dare her to make that one over the big hand. Having said that, she hasn't been superb from a free throw line tonight, although she did get the commentator's curse early. Massive shots here for Whittle.
3 of 4 at the free throw line tonight is Whittle. That's a big one. This crowd is stunned.
What we'll see here from Coach Seabom, will he look to call a timeout in advance? Will he allow them to play?
Whittle's free throw is good. 2 at the line. 2 clutch free throws. No timeout called.
They're going to play it out.
And a quick foul. It's going to send Townsville to the line. Carly Samuelson, 2 big shots the other way. No time wasted there.
Get the ball in the hands of your best free throw shooters. You know you're going to be fouled. She'll step up. She's shot the ball exceptionally well tonight. I'm sure she'll be in a position to stroke these. But having said that, it's pressure.
It's pressure, and hasn't been to the free throw line all night. 2 massive ones for Samuelson. She's got 18 points. Excellent in the first half. Perfect. But still, Townsville will only have a 3-point lead on a make. Perfect again.
Beautiful stroke.
Timeout. Natalie Hurst. Townsville leads by 3 with 17 on the clock.
This is a ripper. We called it at the start of the game. It was going to be an arm wrestle. We thought it was a blowout.
You're on the money.
Now we're back here. It's a 3-point game. 17 seconds to go. That's 1 possession. Adelaide with possession. We imagine they'll advance the ball here. What will they run? We know Mansfield's had the hot hand. She's got Steph Reid on her. We know that Nicholson's got 4 fouls. We know that Reid's got 4 fouls. Is it a play for Talbot to isolate her or get it down low? Is it a 3 look for Mansfield? It'll be interesting to see what Coach Hurst has got in mind here as she diagrams up on her board. Conversely, what does Shannon Seabom do? Do they switch everything? Do they stay face guarding on Mansfield? This is where it's the battle of the coaches. As
a coach, you're one of the great ones. I mean, from Adelaide's perspective, do you look for the 3 immediately, or do you look for a quick 2? What do you think's the strategy? What would you do in this position?
Yeah, look, I think it depends on what you sense your team has. I mean, if you go early, you've got a chance to foul and send to the line. Having said this is a team loaded with great free throw shooters. So, maybe you don't have to rush the quick 3, or is it get it on the rim and score 2? There's loads of options. Look, the way Mansfield was shooting it, though, I'm saying, can you get her a 3 off some nice screen action, or can you get Talbot down low?
Here we go. 17 on the clock. Talbot trying to find someone to pass it to, and it's a 5-second violation. My goodness. From Steph Talbot. Can you believe it?
None of the Adelaide Lightning players can believe that, and I got to say, I thought that was a pretty quick 5 seconds, but the referees are there, they're counting it.
Roof.
Got to come up with a steal or a foul straight away.
They need a foul, and they do. Only a couple of seconds going off the clock there, but Tiana Hawkins, who has been sensational. She's perfect at the line tonight. 5 of 5. Almost put this away, and I'm even afraid to say that the way this game has changed. It's a game of runs, as they say, Carrie Graff, and we've certainly seen that tonight.
We've seen small runs and big ones, and certainly a huge run in this fourth quarter from Adelaide Lightning to get it back to a one-possession game after being 17 points down, as we see Hawkins, the player of the match in my mind tonight, strokes that one all net. Almost the icing on the cake for her team, but in basketball, you never say never.
32, make it 33, 2-2 at the line, 5-point ball game. And you just feel that might be it. Paul Lays goes behind the back and misses the layup though. Gets her own rebound. Mansfield jacks it and short with it, and that's going to do it. Roof will dribble it out, and it's all over. And Townsville have survived. They look like they were on the march to an easy victory. Adelaide with a magnificent comeback in the fourth quarter, fueled by 13 points from Lauren Mansfield. But in the end, it was the Fire winning their second straight in the Cygnett WNBL season, 84-79 over the Lightning. Carrie Graff.
What a contest. I mean, we saw exceptional individual performance, particularly, as you say, from Tiana Hawkins, the 8-year veteran of the WNBA. Wow, she made her mark early on this WNBL season. A huge momentum swing. Adelaide claw it back on the back of Mansfield, as you say. We saw some great execution offensively. Steph Reed utilising the ball screen. We saw some tough defensive stanzas. It was a hell of a contest.
Absolutely spectacular game, and the WNBL, the Cygnett WNBL, has gotten off such an incredible start. I mean, we've seen high-powered offenses, we've seen thrillers. It's setting up for a heck of a season, Carrie.
Yeah, it is, and I think we're seeing, there's a couple of teams early that you say, wow, Townsville certainly on paper, I think people would have called that they'd be a top 4 team. And on tonight's performance and round one, you'd say they're on track for that if they can stay healthy. We saw that Zatina is now out for who knows how long. Adelaide Lightning, wow, they've been on the road for 2 games. They had a great contest against Southside, another cracker tonight. They head to Melbourne on Sunday to play the Melbourne Boomers. This team's got something about it. They haven't got the wins on the board yet, but they'll certainly be coming. But as you say, the quality of the WNBL, the individual talent, the execution tonight. Some of the execution by Townsville Fire was superb and pretty to watch.
Very happy Townsville crowd, and we will run through the final stats for you. Once again, the Lightning going down to the Fire, 84-79, but losing no friends in the process, as Hall of Famer Carrie Graff so beautifully pointed out. The Fire shot the ball 53% from the field. They are outstanding. And Kate Gaze is just waiting with Tiana Hawkins. So we will go right now to Kate Gaze. She's got the player of the game with her. What a game, Tiana Hawkins.
I might get you to face up here, mate. Here in Townsville, and how are you fitting into this team?
I'm feeling good. Since the day we've gotten here, they've welcomed me with open arms. They've made sure I was comfortable. We've been competing since I've been here. Practices have been going great, and you can see the carryover in the game.
And tonight's game was a little bit different to game 1. You guys came out and played absolutely amazing in the first game and had so many different scorers. Tonight, a little bit closer. How do you feel about that going into the game on Wednesday, about against Southside Flyers?
Well, the biggest thing is we can't have a slow start. We can't start behind. We know Southside is a very talented team, so we got to just come out aggressive and be ready to compete and win.
And how do you feel about the physicality of the WNBL? I mean, you've played 8 years in the WNBA. You have unbelievable experience. We are so lucky to have you. How does that compare to the WNBL?
I mean, it's a physical game. It's a physical game over here. But I love it. Like, I love playing with the physicality. You know, I've been learning since I've been here, so I mean, it's a great league.
It's unbelievable to have you in the league. You're amazing to watch. All the best for the rest of the season, and good luck on Wednesday against the Flyers.
All right, thank you.
Kate Gaze there with Tiana Hawkins. We'll run through the final stats for you now. At the Fire shooting the ball 53% from the field, just 4 of 12 from deep at 33%, but huge key at the free throw line, 14 of 15 at 93%. They're led by the player of the game, Tiana Hawkins, was spectacular. 33 points, 13 of 20 from the field, 7 of 7 from the free throw line, 10 rebounds and a couple of assists. Carly Samuelson was excellent in the first half, had that little niggle obviously with the calf in the second half, still finished with 20 points, 7 of 11 from the field, 4 of 6 from deep, 2 of 2 at the free throw line. Michaela Roof, 7 points and 10 rebounds. And Steph Reed was spectacular as well, 12 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists from her. Lauren Nicholson, quiet night, she just had the 6. For the Lightning, they shoot the ball 44% from the field, 39% from 3, 9 of 23, 14 of 16 from the free throw line. They're led by Steph Talbot, who finished with 18 points, 5 rebounds, but also 6 turnovers were a key. Lauren Mansfield, 13 points in the final period, almost dragged the Lightning over the line, just couldn't quite get it done in the end. Still had a terrific game, 18 points, 5 assists. Kirsten Bell with 10 points and 4 rebounds. Izzy Ball Ace, 10 points, 4 rebounds and 4 assists off the bench. Right now we'll go back to Kate Gaze.
I've got Lauren Mansfield from the Adelaide Lightning here. Tough game tonight. How do you feel about that going into your game back in Melbourne on Sunday?
Yeah, I mean, losing's never fun, but I think there's definitely some things we can take away from that game. Obviously, we stayed with it. We stayed in the game. We fought back. So we can credit to the girls for staying in it. We just need to maybe build on that momentum and try not to have so many lapses.
And how do you feel being back home in your home state of Adelaide? We didn't get to see you much last year in the WNBL when with Sydney you went down with an injury early in the season. How does it feel being back on the court? You really did a great job out there and you look good from our perspective.
Thank you. It's really nice. I feel really grateful to be back and be healthy. Obviously, it's amazing to play at home in front of, where I grew up and in front of family and friends. We haven't had our first home game yet, but I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, as you mentioned, it's a tough start to the season with 3 away games against probably 3 of the top teams. How do you feel? How are you finding Nat Hurst as a coach? You've played with her previously. How is she as a coach?
Absolutely love Nat. She's just an awesome human. She's fun to be around. Trainings are hard. We're competing, but it's enjoyable. It's a great environment to be a part of, and I think we just really want to get our first win for her.
You guys look good out there in patches. All the best. It's so great to have you back on the court, and all the best for the rest of the season.
Thanks, Gazy. Appreciate it.
Okay, Gaze there with Lauren Mansfield. And Carrie, before we sign out here, as the Fire sign their autographs, just your thoughts on that ball game. And you called it, you outstanding analysts, as we all know, and from the start, from the pre-game, you said this was going to be a barn burner. This was going back and forth. Didn't look like that for a while in the fourth, but wow, Adelaide led by Mansfield. It wasn't just her, but I mean, she made defensive plays. Obviously, she hits the threes. Just says a lot about the character of that unit, and Natalie Hurst has got quite a lot to build upon, hasn't she?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, look, and for the start of this season, they're on the road for 3 games. They don't get home until the next round. Townsville, on the other hand, they got their first 4 games at home. Playing in Townsville is always tough. The crowd's on their back. But I think tonight it just highlighted the quality of the play in another season of the WNBL. Athleticism, momentum swings. The WNBL has all the drama of fantastic sport, and I think we saw that tonight. Momentum swings, individual talent that we've talked about. Hawkins. Look, I think the Townsville Fire versus Southside on Wednesday, that is going to be another absolute ripper. And I think Sunday, Melbourne Boomers aren't going to be sitting there going, wow, we're looking forward to Adelaide Lightning coming down here. They know that team's going to come in there. They're on the cusp of getting a win. They're playing a good brand of basketball. It just continues to set up great contests in this Cygnett WNBL.
So with that, we are going to sign out here right now. What an outstanding ball game. Townsville 84, the Adelaide Lightning 79. And coming up on 9 now, we've got a great Cygnett WNBL doubleheader tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. It will be the Sydney Flames, their season opener, as they travel to Bendigo to take on the Spirit at Red Energy Arena. That will be followed at 9:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time with the Perth Lynx doing battle with the UC Capitals at the Bendat Basketball Stadium in Perth. Both myself and the Hall of Famer, Carrie Graff, will be on the call. So, for Carrie Graff, for Kate Gaze, who did an amazing job as always, I'm Matt McQuaid. It's been great to have your company tonight. Round 2 action of the Cygnett WNBL. Stay safe wherever you are. Good night.